Hi, this video is a review of the Lockitron. A Lockitron is it's a device that you put over your door lock, and it allows you to or it's supposed to allow you to unlock your door using your smartphone or by sending a text message to the device. Back in October of 2012, I initially committed to purchase this. I was one of the early backers when Lockitron was trying to raise money for this device. And at that time, watching their videos and reading the description of the device, it sounded to me like they had working prototypes and they just needed backers to start a production run. And they listed all these great features that would be in the device. The sense feature where you could just walk up to the door and using the Bluetooth low energy from your phone, the lock would automatically sense that you're walking up and it would unlock the door for you. Different things, you could give out keys to other people. If you maybe had a house cleaner coming, or maid service or something like that, you could give them a key that they could use to unlock the door. And there were supposed to be things like notifications, so you would know when the door was unlocked, who unlocked it, different things like that. I thought it was a pretty cool idea. And I have a smartphone. My wife and my daughter do not have smartphones. They just have regular text messaging phones with the full QWERTY keyboards and whatnot. But I thought they'll be able to use it too because they just send a text message and it will unlock the door. So like I said, back in October 2012, I became an early backer at $149. It's $149 for the device. And I waited. And I waited and waited and waited. I waited for about a year and a half, and over that year and a half, Lockitron sent many updates about we're tweaking our manufacturing process, we're working on quality control, we're updating firmware. So several promised ship dates came and went, but then finally, just this month, June of 2014, the device arrived. I don't have it to show you in this video because it didn't work, and I'll go into how it didn't work in more detail. But anyways, I packaged it all back up and I sent it back as soon as I possibly could to get a full refund of my money. But just to review my experience with it, when I unpackaged it, the device is very large. Takes up quite a bit of space on your door, and I'll show some pictures in this video of it mounted to a door, or how it mounts to a door, so you can get an idea of the size. The box was a really nice looking box that it came in, but when I opened it up, the actual faceplate was covered in fingerprints, and it had a little bit of grease oozing out from the actual mechanical mechanism. And it came in black, the obsidian black color, but I ordered the quicksilver color. So I immediately sent them an email and told them they sent me the wrong color. And what they told me is that that was the only color that they were running in production right now, and that later on they would send me the correct color faceplate for it. So I said, okay. So then I went on to try and do the install. And I'll just say before I get into the install and the problems I ran into, I'm a technical person. I work in IT. I've been working in IT for 20 plus years. And I started my career in electronics. as an electronic technician and later on working in electronic engineering for a semiconductor manufacturer and building custom test bench setups for semiconductor testing. And so I'm not a newbie when it comes to working with electronic devices and setting them up and configuring them and things like that, or setting up things on computer networks. But this device, one of the first things you have to do, you have to do what's called a blink up to send your wireless information to the device, and use your smartphone to do that. And it took me about 5 or 6 tries to actually get the blink up to send my wireless network configuration to the device. Just for whatever reason, the device was not receiving the blink up, but then it seemed to finally work. But after it was connected to my Wi-Fi, it wouldn't stay connected. It kept dropping off. And I read a little bit. They said, oh, maybe it's too close to the Wi-Fi router, maybe it's too far away. I tried a few experiments, moving it closer, moving it far away. Nothing really seemed to work to get it to stay connected. When it was connected, it would seem to go to sleep, and then it would never wake up. I would send commands to it on the smartphone application, and the lock wouldn't unlock. It wouldn't lock. It wouldn't unlock. It just wouldn't do anything. So I was doing a little bit of reading, and some other people posted reviews of the Lockitron device, and they were saying things like, it took up to 60 seconds for it to respond to a lock or unlock command. And so I waited 60 seconds. I waited 2 minutes and 3 minutes and never unlocked. Then I was reading, that when the device would go into the sleep mode, sometimes you had to do a knock on the door to wake it up. I tried that. I tried knocking. I tried all kinds of other suggestions people wrote in their reviews, and nothing would wake it up. It just wouldn't receive a command. It wouldn't respond to a command. It wouldn't wake up. And as I read other reviews, these reviews were not available at the time that I placed my order, because these reviews are from other people like me who were early backers, and they only reviewed it after they received their device. But what I started to learn was many of the features that were supposed to be included in this device were not included. You had to knock on the door to wake the device up before you could send a command to it to unlock. And to me, that defeats the whole purpose of getting this device. If I've got to go up to my own door and knock on it and then wait for it to wake up, then pull out my phone, then do the unlock, then wait 60 seconds for the door to unlock, I might as well just pull out my key and unlock the door in 10 seconds. So that was pretty disappointing. So between that and then the fact that the notifications don't work yet, the Bluetooth sense does not work, and then what I found out about the text messaging feature, when I looked at the original features that were supposed to be included in this device back when I placed my order, there was no mention of monthly fees or anything like that. But then I read now that to use it with text messaging, there's a $5 a month fee. And I don't want to pay $5 a month to be able to unlock my own door. I have a smartphone, so I wouldn't need that for my phone, but my wife and my daughter don't have smartphones. So that's another thing that was a big disappointment. So I made the decision to send the device back. It didn't have many of the features that it was supposed to have. They say they're working on these features and there'll be firmware updates and things like that. But, I didn't think it was a good value to pay $149 to help a company QA their product that doesn't have 80% of the features that they said it would have. This device clearly isn't ready for prime time. They have a lot of glitches and other issues to work out. And now if you wanted to pre-order one, it's up to $179. So there's other more mature products on the market for unlocking your door. Kwikset, I know Kwikset has a device. There's some other ones out there. So I would definitely not recommend Lockitron. It's a product that's just not ready to go. And maybe they'll get some of these issues sorted out in the future, but I'm not willing to pay $5 a month to be able to use a lock on my own door. And I would want all the features that I was promised. So, and I had to pay $13 to ship the lock back to Lockitron. Definitely not a product I would recommend. Thanks for watching. Bye.